Automation used to be very simple. If this happens, then do that. One trigger, one action. No thinking involved. But that's not how work looks anymore. Today, tasks are messy. They involve multiple steps, decisions along the way, and different tools talking to each other. And expecting humans to manually coordinate all of that doesn't really scale. This is where agents come in. An agent isn't just a rule or a shortcut. It's a system that can take a goal, look at the situation, decide what needs to happen next, and then use tools to make it happen. Platforms like Zapier and n8n have both moved in this direction. They now offer agent-based automation that goes beyond basic workflows. On the surface, both approaches seem similar. You give an agent access to apps, you define boundaries, and you let it handle work that would otherwise require constant human input. But once you start using them, the differences become clear. How much freedom the agent has is different, how much you can guide or restrict it is different, and the kinds of tasks each agent is comfortable handling are very different. In this video, we're not here to say one agent is better than the other. Instead, we'll look at how Zapier agents and n8n agents are designed, what assumptions they make about the user, and what kinds of problems they're actually meant to solve. By the end, you'll know which style of agent fits your way of working, without needing to be technical. If you're into this kind of content, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for future videos.
Alright, before we compare Zapier agents and n8n agents, we need to make sure we are clear on one thing. What exactly is an agent? Because a lot of people hear the word agent and they instantly think it's some super technical, complicated AI thing. But don't worry, it's actually very simple. Let's start with what most people already know, normal automations. A normal automation is basically like a checklist. It's like step 1 happens, then do step 2, then do step 3. For example, when someone fills a Google form, send me an email. Or when someone buys something, add their details into Google Sheets. That's a normal automation. It's predictable, it's fixed, and it only works properly if the steps are very clear. Now here's where it gets interesting. An agent is different. An agent doesn't work like a checklist. It works more like a helper, like someone you assign a task to. Instead of giving it very tiny step, you give it a goal. For example, you can tell it, handle this task, organize this customer request, sort these messages and assign them to correct department, or even do this whole process for me. And then the agent will figure out what steps it needs to take based on the tool you allow it to use. So the agent isn't just following a strict path like trigger, action, done. It's more like goal, think, 2 steps, take action, check result. That's why agents feel more smart than normal automations. But here's the most important part. The agent still needs boundaries because you don't want an agent doing random things. So in tools like Zapier and n8n, you usually define things like what apps or tools it can access, what information it is allowed to use, what tasks it's allowed to complete, and what it should never do. So to summarize this section in the simplest way possible, workflows follow steps, but agents try to achieve a goal. So let's first talk about Zapier agents. If you have heard Zapier before, you probably already know what Zapier is all about. Zapier's personality is basically make automation easy for everyone. Not just for developers, not just for tech people, for literally everyone who runs a business, manages tasks, or just wants to stop doing repetitive work every day. And that exact same idea carries into Zapier agents. Zapier agents feel very beginner-friendly, clean, guided, and super fast to set up. It doesn't feel like you're building something complicated. It feels like you are just answering a few questions, connecting your apps, and letting the agent handle the work. For example, imagine you tell an agent, whenever I get a new lead, organize it and notify the right person. In Zapier, the whole process feels smooth because Zapier is built around simplicity. It's like you don't need to know the deep technicals now. You don't need to think like an engineer. You just need to know what you want the agent to do. And because of that, Zapier agents are really good for people who want results quickly. It's the type of tool where you don't spend hours building and testing. You spend minutes setting it up, and it already feels like it's working. And another big reason Zapier feels easy because it supports so many popular apps that people already use. Stuff like Gmail, Google Sheet, Slack, Notion, Trello, Shopify, you name it. So instead of building a whole system from scratch, Zapier makes it feel like everything is already connected. Now, one more thing about Zapier agents is that they are great when you want automation to feel safe. Because the platform is guided, you're less likely to mess something up. So it's perfect for small business owners, creators, freelancers, marketing teams, and anyone who just want automation that works without stress. If I had to summarize Zapier agents in one line, it would be this. Zapier agents are designed for speed and simplicity. You can go from I have a repetitive task to it's automated in the shortest time possible. Now let's talk about n8n agents. If Zapier feels like a smooth, ready-made solution, then n8n feels more like a custom automation builder, like a workshop. Zapier is more plug and play. n8n is more build the way you want. And that difference is very important because n8n is made for people who want more flexibility, more control, and more customization. So instead of the platform guiding you heavily, n8n gives you freedom. It basically says, here are the tools, here is the space, go build what you need. So n8n agents feels like, I want the agent to do this, but exactly my way. Meaning, you can decide how the agent behaves, how it moves between steps, how it checks information, how it reacts when something goes wrong, and how it handles different situations. That is what makes it more powerful. Because in real life, business starts aren't always clean and simple. A customer might type something incorrectly. An email might be missing a detail. A spreadsheet might have duplicates. An order might need manual approval efforts. Though messy situations are where n8n shines. In n8n, you can build an agent system that's not just connect app A to app B. Instead, it becomes check this request, check this database, clean the data, decide the next step, then update multiple places, and if anything fails, notify me. That's a very different level of automation. And another big thing, n8n is great when you want your agent to work with more than just custom apps. For example, internal business tool, custom databases, APIs, files, or your own private systems. So if you want your agent to behave like a mini worker inside your business operations, n8n is a strong option. Now, let me also be honest here. The trade-off is that n8n isn't as beginner-friendly as Zapier. Not because it's impossible, but because it gives you more power. It can feel a bit more technical. It might take more time to set up. It might take more thinking. But for the right person, that effort is worth it. Because we end up with something that fits your exact workflow. So if I had to summarize n8n agents in one sentence, it would be this. n8n agents are built for people who want maximum control, flexibility, and customization. And this is why when comparing Zapier agents with n8n agents, it's not really about better. It's about, do you want it simple and fast, or do you want it powerful and customizable? Now that we have looked at both of them, let's simplify everything into one clean idea. Because honestly, most people don't need a complicated comparison. They just need the real difference. So if I had to explain Zapier agents versus n8n agents in the simplest way possible, it would be this. Zapier agents are like, I want automation fast, easy, and clean. And n8n agents are like, I want automation powerful and customizable. That's it. That's the heart of the whole comparison. Zapier is built for speed. It's built for people who don't want to spend too much time building things. You basically tell it what you want, connect your apps, and you're good to go. So Zapier feels like automation that just works. Meanwhile, n8n is just built for control. It's built for people who want deeper flexibility. People who don't just want something that works, they want something that works exactly the way they want it to. So n8n feels like automations that you can decide. And you can think of it like this. Zapier is more like buying a ready-made solution. n8n is more like building the solution with your own structure. And that doesn't mean one is better than the other, because it depends on what kind of person you are. Some people prefer smooth and simple. Other people prefer flexible and powerful. So again, the one-line summary is this. Zapier is more beginner-friendly, n8n is more flexible. And once you understand that, everything else becomes easy to choose. Because you're no longer comparing features. You're comparing styles of automation. So which one should you choose? Here's the simplest answer. If you're a small business owner, a creator, or anyone who wants quick automation without complexity, Zapier agents will feel smooth. It's fast, guided, and beginner-friendly. But if you're building something more advanced, or you want deeper control, or you're okay spending extra time customizing things, n8n agents is going to fit better. So it's not purely about which tool is better. It's about what matches your needs. Speed and simplicity, go for Zapier agents. Control and customization, go for n8n agents. If you are serious about building solutions like this and you are willing to learn step by step and work on real projects, you're welcome to join our free community. Inside, we teach everything from ground up, starting from zero with practical hands-on guidance. And if you're someone who's interested in using this solution but doesn't want to dive into technical side, and instead wants to move faster and scale sooner, you can also partner with us and hire our tech team to build these systems for you. Either way, the goal is the same: helping you move from ideas to real working solutions.